Hello everyone. I wonder how close we truly are to having a microchip implanted in our foreheads even. We've seen videos on YouTube and even news broadcasts where employees over in Europe are being microchipped in their hands in order to have access to their offices. People, I think it is said recently that there are over 10,000 people worldwide that have had a microchip voluntarily implanted into their bodies for operating their phones, their homes, their computers, and even some for buying and selling. How long will it be before this mark is instituted in the forehead as well? When I came across this picture this morning, I thought it was very telling. Of course, I don't believe that the microchip is going to be this big, but I just felt that this picture adequately described how people all over the world are slowly but surely becoming accustomed to the idea of having biometrics inserted in their right hand or forehead. And on this picture here, it says that this man here is wanting to have a microchip implanted, and this is from the Australian, in himself, biometrics. And it's interesting that he deliberately took a picture of himself with a microchip on his forehead. Of course, we know John says that eventually it will go in the right hand or in the forehead. So this is very telling. Of course, this is, I don't believe this is authentically the size of the chip that will be put in there, but I thought the picture was very telling, considering what Revelation tells us through the disciple John, that we will eventually, those who take the mark, have it implanted in the right hand, the right hand or the forehead. Medical developments, it says here, and this is coming from www.onlinetmd.com, and then of course this is getting into the medical aspect of eventually taking an RFID microchip. It says electronic microchip based medical device implant technology. Teva and Microchips Biotech announced partnership to enhance patient outcomes through digital drug delivery technology. So it appears that when this microchip implant is given, it is not only going to be for buying and selling, but if you want medical care, you may be forced or caused, as the scripture says, to receive this implant for medical purposes as well. And you can go and look up this article if you want. It's a lot to get into. But it's dealing with medical devices and implementation of pharmaceuticals and medications. That, and of course we know there was a news broadcast a couple of years ago about by 2017 how it shows someone coming off of an ambulance and they're microchipped and the doctors are able to scan them and see their history and what their medical needs are with a scan. Satan will make this technology look very desirable to the world for safety and security and convenience. Okay, in healthcareitnews.com, it says here, patient safety driving increased RFID use in hospitals. Of course. So not only for buying and selling and the economy, but also if you want medical care during that great tribulation, they may even look for an RFID microchip to be able to treat you. That may be a requirement. I know that for buying and selling, having a microchip in the right hand or forehead will be required per scripture in Revelation 13, but will it also be required to receive a doctor's care if you are in need of medical care during that time? It's quite possible. I wanted to show you something else pertaining to the forehead, and I just found this picture interesting is all, and I wanted to show this to you. It's called the Infant Protection System, and it's by a company called Halo, capital H-A-L-O, and it shows a picture of an infant receiving a syringe to the forehead. And you know, those of us who have had babies, we know that the first couple of months or more of an infant's life, there is a soft spot where the skull has not yet come together, and there's a soft spot, which would make it very easy for doctors upon delivery of a baby to insert a microchip implant into this child's forehead so that when they leave the hospital, they're already microchipped in their forehead. It's just food for thought, but I found this picture online, and it's from a company called Halo, Infant Protection Program, and my ink is getting a little light here, but it shows a syringe, obviously, being implanted are implanting something here in the soft spot where this baby's skull is. And of course we know that that's in the forehead. I just find it interesting that these pictures about being implanted in the forehead are beginning to surface. That's all. And I thought I would bring it to your attention. How easy would it be to do this? Very easy. We've often wondered, how will this microchip implant be given in the forehead? It could be that as babies are born during this time, they are microchipped in that soft spot. There is also a company called Masonic Chip, M-A-S-O-N-I-C-H-I-P. And what I find interesting is that the beginning of that term is called Mason, and it's run by Freemasonry, Shriners and Freemasons, and it's called Masonic Chip. I wrote it down, so if you want to Google it and look it up yourself, they're beginning to try and acclimate people to the idea that eventually you can microchip your children for peace and security. And this is how it's spelled, Masonic Chip. And I just found it interesting that the word Mason is in the beginning of this word. But I wanted to, like I said, bring to your attention that eventually this will also be put in the forehead. So let me show you these pictures one more time. This man obviously posing for a picture, just representing the idea that he wants something on his forehead, possibly, to be implanted. I think it's just, this picture makes a statement of the times we're living in, especially prophetically speaking, as well as this infant protections program from Halo, where it looks like a syringe is being put into this baby's soft spot here to inject something. And I guarantee that that's most likely an RFID tag for identification of the child and tracking and so on. So I just figured I would show you this as an update, just as, you know, I mean, the times we're living in, guys, it's coming together. God bless. Take care. Keep watching.